Down at Geordie's shed again today, and we're about to do the rear wheel carrier install to the D4. So essentially we need to remove the rear bumper first of all, and then there'll be a bit of cutting to do, and then the install. So we'll go through that with you now. So the first thing that you need to do is remove the rear lights. So those essentially screw out. There's a screw here and a screw at the bottom. So you undo those, and then the lights actually just pop out from here and here. So these just line up. We've used a plastic tool just to push in here and remove the light. It means that you're not damaging the bodywork. The next stage then is to remove the rear wheel arches prior to removing the rear bumper. No flat cap today. That's way too warm. It's just roasting, and we're in a tin shed. So the next thing that we're actually going to do is we're going to raise the air suspension up. It'll just give us a wee bit more access in around the rear arch. The small screwdriver just to access the rear arch bolts or nuts, screws. We'll get it right eventually. We just used this wee tool here to remove the plastics rivets. Just pull them out from underneath here. You can see. So in addition to the arches, the mud flaps also have to come off, which are held with a bolt here and a bolt here. So, sorry, that just tucks in like that. So there's two. Now, because of where they're situated, these ones here were rotten, so we ended up having to grind one of them out. It's just where they're located. It gathers dirt in here as well, so be prepared for that. So we now have the rear bumper off. So there's a couple of plugs that need unplugged. That's for the rear parking sensors, and then there's bolts. So there's a couple there, and then the top row along here. And then the bottom row just along the bottom here as well, which then, once that's off, then that exposes the steel bumper, which we're going to be cutting and bolting the new wheel carrier to. So the next stage is just to mark the bumper. So there's some instructions that Terrafirma send you out. It shows you where to mark the bumper at. And then obviously this here comes, and it will be hidden in underneath the bumper. So there's a number of incisions that need to be made to allow the wheel carrier to come out through, and for this here to come out through the plastic bumper. And then we have this section here which will drop down onto that once it's fitted. once the bumper section's lined up, then the instructions actually tell us that you need to push this on basically with a sledge. We're going to try and use a sledge and a bit of wood just to push that onto the bumper properly. And then there's then going to have to be these bolts here drilled. We'll hopefully get the top bolts in first, and then these ones here will have to be drilled, and the ones in the bottom. And then there's these here will slide in the other side, and that's what you bolt to. I'm just priming any of the areas that we cut to reduce the risk of rust. So we now have it lined up. Took a wee bit of beating just to get that all lined up and into the right place. There's two slots on this. There's a longer slot here and a longer slot here. So at this stage we just want to slot the bolts onto there, and that'll mean that there's a wee bit of movement whenever we're actually tying it in with the bolts here. So before drilling all the holes, we're just marking them all. We're going to take this off to drill it. So there's the ones on the top, on the face, and then on the underside as well. That's it all fully attached now. So 4 bolts in the top, 3 on the face, and 2 in underneath here as well. So we've got the 2 holes cut and the bumper fitted back on just to see how she fits. The hole that we drilled was slightly too small, so we've just marked it again. We're going to try and bore it out a wee bit. This one here is fitting pretty good now, Jordy, isn't it?
Yeah, good job.
So, yeah, that's it. So this wee template came with the kit, but we didn't fully trust it. But it actually works out pretty spot on. So if you're using that template there, you can just draw around the template and then cut it out. We just wanted to make sure that we weren't cutting the wrong place, but it does seem pretty spot on. So I've now bored that out more and slotted her into place. So she's sitting well now. There's just the attachments to go on here, and then the bolt for the wheel. So we've now assembled the bottom part of the wheel holder. This pulls out and opens up, and then obviously you've got your strut or your dampener here. It just screws in at the bottom and the top. This here, there's been a wee bit of building involved in it, so she slides out. And just can do that again, Jordy, just to show them. Open her up. So it's a pretty good job, and then obviously you've got the bumper to push onto, the wee rubber grommet. So that's us finished the wheel install now. So I'm just going to turn her around. Jordy's going to give you a demonstration of how it opens here. The camera shy guy. So We did have to use, there's wheel nuts that come with it, but they're not quite as the Discovery comes standard with alloys, so I'll have to get them sort of spaced them out for now. Jordy's down there just screwing in the last bits for the bumper, but that's it finished now. So I'll have it cleaned up and looking better the next time you see it. I've just got to finish off putting on the arches, but that's it, pretty much finished. Of course, the reason that this is on the back is the wheel, the spare wheel for a Disco 4 is situated on underneath, and once you put on a larger wheel and tyre, that spare wheel doesn't fit anymore. So you'll see a lot of videos of D4s with the wheel on the roof and stuff like that there, but obviously we can't put our wheel on our roof, plus it's quite heavy up there, so we've had to put it on the back. But I think it looks great. I'm quite happy with the way it's finished.
And you still have your original spares, so if you bust 2 wheels, you're sorted.
Yeah. Practical. So I'll just flip her out here. So it's on a strut, so it's quite easy to pull out and in. And of course you can put a wee padlock on there as well. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If there's any questions, please put them in the comments section below and we'll try our best to answer them for you. Until next time, cheers, bye.